kick off your week just right on Wall Street. We welcome Tracey Campbell, financial journalist with UpsideFN.com. Thanks for joining us today.
Great, thanks for having me.
Good morning. Let's take a quick look back at last week in a nutshell and how you would assess the action that you saw.
Well, I think last week and as this week was really dominated by nothing but earnings. Until we get all those earnings reports out of our hair, I think that's going to be really the main story of the week.
Okay. Tracey, let me ask you, there are a lot of things going on. One of the things we did talk about earlier is regulation of fair disclosure that went into effect. What are we talking about there, and how does it affect me?
Well, actually, it's shorthand is Reg FD, and it's a very cool thing. It essentially, instead of allowing just analysts to talk to companies about breaking developments that would impact you as an investor, basically anybody can now get in on the action. If a company has important developments, they've got to tell everyone.
For investors who really want to do their homework, and in the light of this tangle of all the different earnings reports that are coming out, Tracey, what advice would you give investors?
Well, you know, the thing that's interesting is because analysts no longer have the direct pipeline to the company that they did, or direct private pipeline, earnings season is a lot woollier and a little bit crazier now. So what I like to do is, it's good to know what people are looking for in terms of a consensus if you do own a stock. But one thing that's out there a lot that really moves stocks is the whisper number, which means analysts might be in print, for example, at 10 cents a share, but they're whispering that the company's going to come in at 13. Yeah. You got to get the good stuff.
And you say sometimes that's available at whispernumber.com.
That's right. That is the one-stop shop for whisper numbers. It's whispernumber.com.
That is something. All right, anything else coming out that we should be watching for this week?
We do have a lot of economic data, and what I do there is I go to briefing.com and click on free services and then click on bonds, and I really use that as my guidepost for all things economic.
And, okay, we've got earnings, economic data, anything else that you want to keep an eye on for?
Yeah, you know, that stuff gets you a little bit boring after a while. I'll probably get in trouble for saying that. There are a lot of IPO lockups that are ending this week. And what that means is, when there is an IPO, a lot of insiders get a big portion of shares, but they can't sell them for 3 to 6 months or a certain time frame. When they are able to sell their shares is when things really start to get interesting. If you go to IPOlockup.com, you'll see there are over 24 stocks this week where you're going to get, you know, millions and millions of shares being potentially dumped into the market, and it could actually make things really interesting.
All right. Thank you so much for that quick look at Wall Street. Very thorough indeed. Tracey Campbell from UpsideFN.com. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. You too.